Before we start today's video, if you guys would like to join my Discord server, link will be in the description and it will also be in the pinned comment. If it's been more than 7 days, then please do use the link that's in the latest video, otherwise this one won't work because apparently it lasts only a week. But anyway, let's get right into the video. What's up guys, today I bring you the Renault Twingo 133 RS, or the Renault Sport Twingo 133, whatever you want to call it. It's a sporty version of the Renault Twingo, I believe the second generation of Renault Twingo, I think that's right. And apparently it has 133 horsepower, so well, if the name doesn't give it away, I don't know what will. But anyway, besides this, I don't know what to say about the thing. So let's get into it really. So when it comes to the exterior looks, on the pre-facelift, which I feel like is more known, it does look alright. I mean, it's not ugly. I mean, it obviously has its sporty features like, you know, different grille, different bumper, sporty add-ons, etc. It's subtle and sporty at the same time, which I think really works for this kind of car and at this kind of price point. It doesn't need to be overly done, just show it slightly. On the facelift, well, it has changed, you know, the bumper has completely changed and you got big circular lights. Thank you, Mr. Motorbike Driver. It's got big circle lights like it's a Hyundai i10. And I don't think it works so well. I think besides the circle headlights, this does look better. When it comes to the side, well, it looks like a regular Twingo, but yeah, it's got different wheels. The rear wheel arches are, well, where's Mercedes when you need them? Please go away. Anyway, yep, so big wheel arches, you've got a little boot spoiler, different wheels, pretty sure it's been lowered as well, and the bumper's obviously different, the side profile is different. The rear, well, it's kind of like how Renault used to add like arses to their car, like, you know, like the Megane and the third generation Clio. It didn't have it much, but it was there slightly, just the slightest bit. This, I feel like they're very tempted by the looks of it, but you know what, it actually looks alright. I mean, there's nothing to complain about. I mean, the lights work, the actual shape of the car, it's fine. The only thing I would say is, you know what, add a second exhaust, you know, for kinks. You know, that will be really, really cool. Definitely up the image profile. Definitely, that would be fun. And then the facelift, well, the only thing that's changed really is the lights. You know, they're now in the boot. And there's a big gap between them. It's a bit odd. And the black bit of the bumper has changed a bit. When it comes to the interior looks, well, it's funky to say the least. I mean, you've got the rev counter right in front of you. And then you've got the speedometer in like a little pod as well, like the rev counter over there in the center, kind of like the regular Twingo really. But you know what, it's kinky, it's odd. And then you got the display next to it, and then you got weird shaped air vents, which, you know what, definitely add some flavor. And then the radio stereo thing is a weird angle and a weird place. It is hidden a bit, but you know what, the interior is kind of funky. I don't expect the materials to be, well, plush. I mean, they're probably going to be cheap grey plastics, and don't forget, it's not that much of an expensive car, so don't expect plush. And also there's this weird cubby looking thing behind the rev counter, unless I'm seeing things and it isn't that and it's something else. When it comes to the performance, you've got a 1.6 litre inline 4 cylinder with no turbo supercharger. You're seeing 131 bhp, but that's bhp, not horsepower, so well, yeah, so you can't really complain about that. 118 pound-feet of torque. It is front wheel drive. It is very light at 1050 kilograms, pretty much a ton, give or take. A 5-speed manual gearbox, I do feel like with this amount of power, a 6-speed would be useful. It's like the Toyota Yaris T-Sport and the TS/SR. I think this could definitely use it. Maybe they didn't put it in for cost reasons, I'm not sure. But I definitely think it could use one. 0 to 60 is 8.5 seconds. And the top speed is either 125 or 127. The specs are all over on the internet. It's one or the other, it's around the same place. So it is pretty nippy, and it doesn't actually need a lot of power because it is a very small, light car. When it comes to the practicality, well, the two rear seats, they can be adjusted so they can go forward and they can go back on their separate means. Which means if you have them all the way back for passenger comfort, the boot is 165 litres big, which is, well, we'll say about average for that kind of car. And then if you push the seats away forward, as if people have no legs, then it goes to 285 litres, which is quite big. And it's good that you can adjust them, because if you've got nothing in the boot, you push the seat all the way back and then the person will have a decent amount of leg room. But if you haven't got anyone in the back, or just even kids, you can push them forward a little bit and then add some bits in the boot. And while we're here, the headroom, well, it was decent enough for 6-footers. Obviously taller would struggle, but well, this is what the review tells me. But it's actually very decent for a small little city car. When it comes to the handling and comfort, there's two sections. So we'll start with the first one. So with the Twingo 133, you could get a normal version, or you can get a cup version. The normal version, obviously it's got 16-inch rims and, you know, slightly lowered suspension and all that, but it is a good balance between handling and comfort for the passengers. So on the comfort side, well, it was fine, nothing wrong with it. Handling, well, as we know, sporty Renaults, they handle really well anyway. And you know, like I said, it's light, it's very small, and it's got a decent amount of power. It is literally like a Go-Kart, and being a Renault, it will grip, it will handle. Understeer is most likely not going to happen. You know, torque steer, you know, it's not enough power for that, or torque anyway for that, but still it is all controlled and it is definitely really fun to drive. But the Cup version has 17-inch rims, it has a lower ride height and more firm suspension. Now, all of this does mean that the ride comfort has been reduced. It is practically worse. It is quite stiff, but the handling, well, it's probably even better anyway, well, because it's the Cup version, isn't it? So that will be even more tighter, even more strong, I don't know what the word is, but it will just grip like, I don't know, whatever grips, I don't know, like the Velcro on shoes, let's call it that. Is there anything else worth noting? Well, the actual car itself, even just the basic version, is based on a Mark II Renault Clio. And, well, yeah. So, what is the verdict? So, the pros are, it has decent performance, a funky interior, sporty exterior looks, it has a good boot space with rear adjustable seats for your preferences, a balanced ride for handling and ride comfort, but that's the non-Cup version. It has great handling if you do get the Cup version. I mean, even the non-Cup version is good. And it has good ride as well for the non-Cup. Okay, this is confusing now. And decent headroom. I know it's exactly, I'm just repeating myself, but you know what? You get the gist. And the cons, well, there's only 3. Technically 2, because the last one doesn't really fully count. So, Cup version does have a stiff ride. 6 gear might be useful, and just for fun, a second exhaust just for kinks. But yeah, that does sum it up. Something I will say is, obviously the car is, well, it's not new anymore, so you obviously can get these second hand, you know, for a good low price. And that means if you're a young driver and you do want your first sporty little car, this is not a bad option. It's definitely small, light, it's very go-karty, and it just handles brilliantly. And to have a car that handles this well, as you know, one of your very first cars, is just, well, a dream come true, really. But anyway, if you guys would like to check out my reaction channel, link will be in the description below. Again, I've just given up at this point. I haven't made a video explaining it, but I have got a video planned, and so that might happen eventually. But if you would like to, you know, watch and subscribe, then link will be in the description. And next week's car, again, I'm failing to provide you with one. I really don't know. I'll probably think of it on Sunday, most likely, which is not useful. But if you do have a car you want me to review, then you can let me know in the comments as well. And well, that is it really. So I will see you guys in next week's video for whatever car it is. Peace.